Ammon, Bundy, February 12th, 2016. The Injustice System of America. The first time I met Stephen Hammond, I spent the entire afternoon with him on his ranch. We moved and fed cattle as we talked the whole afternoon. With all that was said about his ranch, abuse to his family, the challenges of the current system, the time he spent in federal prison for just ranching, with all that we talked about, one comment that Stephen made has stood out to me the most. He said, "I have been made to believe my entire life that most people in prison are bad, hardened criminals, dangerous to society. And then when I went into federal prison, I found out that it was packed clear full of people just like you and I." In the 17 days myself and the others have been in this misery of chains, I have met not one person that I have felt was bad or that would hurt me. I am certain there are a few in here that will, but the fact is, these concrete walls are packed clear full of people longing for their families, mourning for the loss of their freedom, hurting for help, just needing a break in life. Many that are in here never hurt anyone or damaged anybody's property, but most are willing to say they are guilty just to be freed from the suffering and humiliation that are imposed upon them each day. I hear story after story how state and federal prosecutors are charging people for months and even years in prison for breaking a law that hurt or damaged no one. Then while in chains, these prosecutors dangle a plea agreement in front of them that lessens the sentence if they say they are guilty. Why else do Oregon prosecutors have a larger than 95% guilty rate in their prosecutions? It is a sickening game that bureaucrats and prosecutors play. It brings tremendous human suffering. I do not understand how anyone would find pleasure or success in causing human pain. For those who are not willing to play the plea game, they keep in prison for months, even years on end, before a trial date is even set. The entire time suffering for a crime they have not been found guilty of. We are so far from the justice system that was set up by our founding fathers. The justice system they set up was simple, just, restored the victim, and rehabilitated the offender. It was a similar system that was used in ancient Israel and by the Anglo-Saxons. They called it God's law, natural law, common law, as found in the Magna Carta and the U.S. Constitution. In common law, for a crime to have taken place, damage had to be done to another person or his property. There had to be a victim. Hence, habeas corpus, show me the victim. If there was a victim, and the two could not work it out themselves, then that person or his family could bring up charges. The accused offender would be tried by a jury of friends, peers. The jury would determine guilt and retribution. The victim was restored, and both moved on as free men. Very little government involvement. In fact, most were worked out between a church leader or a community leader. Very little need for jails or prisons. The injustice system we are now caught in allows bureaucrats in the name of the people to take up charges against a person when there is no victim. This system allows government officials to prosecute or to prescribe punishment, setting mandatory limits no matter the offense. 2, 3, 4 years in prison, taking voting rights and the right to bear arms for breaking bureaucratic law that damages no one and has no victims. With this cunningly crafted system in place, bureaucrats can now claim lands, homes, properties, resources, and entire industries as their own for their own growth and benefit. And anyone who challenges them, they send the officers to arrest that person. They punish and cause great suffering to them for several years. If that person finally sees the light of day, that person is broke and submissive, trained to never speak out, to keep the head low and to follow the flow. This is our current justice system, twisted for the growth and the protection of government, causing many innocent people to suffer in both body and spirit. Those in power would have us believe that society is the problem, that people are the reason the prisons are full. That America has nearly 3 times more people in prison than any other country because the American people are bad. This is a lie. Government officials, bureaucrats, enforcing their own laws upon the American people are the reason the prisons are full. They say they are protecting us, when in reality they are the grave danger. Dwight Hammond, Stephen Hammond, my father Cliven Bundy, my brother Ryan, my friends, and myself are all standing examples of this corrupt system that would have put away the likes of George Washington, Thomas Jefferson, Ben Franklin, Sam Adams, James Madison, and so many other defenders of freedom if they were still alive today. O people of America, wake up, arise from your slumber, put off fear, trust in God, and unite to save liberty. Because of the oppressive actions that have come upon us, the American people must choose to act or they will be acted upon. As Americans, we have a great decision to make, freedom being very sweet or oppression being very bitter. For men not to act is a choice to be acted upon. Pray to the Lord and find out what you should do. We must not pass oppression onto our children. The time to act is now. Sincerely, Ammon Bundy.